I'll take the bullet this time. So, hello and welcome back to the Dragon and Bear show with me, Dragon King, and Mr. BadQualityBear himself, Alex.
Hello.
And obviously today we're doing what we said we'd do at the end of the Gravity Falls reviews, which is cover the latest season of the hit animated Netflix show, The Dragon Prince. I'm pretty certain it's a hit. I was like, do I say hit or not? I mean, it's got to season 6, so
yeah,
it's got to be a hit. I mean, I've already got some stuff to say at the end of this regarding the future of the show that I was reading yesterday, which obviously I find quite interesting. So it's got to be a hit. I mean, I say 6 seasons in, it's got to be a hit.
Yeah.
So obviously
it's like got another season at least.
Yeah, they've confirmed another season.
I can't see it going to like season 8 if they.
I will explain something at the end, which I read like a whole article that came out during Comic-Con.
Okay,
when they announced season 7, obviously they made some other announcements. Anyway, so obviously this is book 6, aka Stars.
Yeah.
And obviously, honestly, so much better than last season.
Definitely.
I know we struggled with last season a bit in the sense of we started to see a trend of the rating system, and obviously that season 5 was the middle part of the 3 seasons, obviously 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And just like season 1, 2, and 3, which obviously season 2 was the weak one, 5 being the middle one was the weak one of the trilogy, and this keeps up that act of the third part then goes back to the same quality as the first part. It is another standout show. It's got so much good to it. I mean, I think we both made notes per episode, like a couple of notes to mention per episode. Because obviously, again, 9 episodes, so it's 20 like 5-minute long episodes, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like technically this should be only season 3, if they actually made the seasons a bit longer than 9 episodes.
Yeah, if they squashed all the arcs into like.
Yeah, so then that would make more sense to why it drops down a bit.
Yeah.
In every odd season.
Because it's the middle part of the series where it's dropped.
Yeah.
Weirdly though, this isn't the middle part of the series.
Yeah.
Well, so technically 5 and 6 are the middle part of the series, which is weird. Because so far because obviously the sagas so far we've had 2. We've had the one where it's just called The Dragon Prince, where there's been no name attached to it, and now we've got the mystery of Arvos, or whatever his fucking name is. Aravos, that's how you pronounce it. Obviously, that's 2 arcs so far. One was done in 3 seasons. This one's done in 4. That's why this is going for another series after this. Is because there's still more to tell. Which obviously after that ending, well, we can see there's fucking more to tell. But so it's weird because then that makes 5 and 6 the middle part of this arc rather than just a single part. But still, it's still improved again compared to the previous series. And I say I loved it.
Right.
I think I watched the first. I want to say like 5 or 6 last night, and I finished watching it this morning. And I was hooked. It's so good. The first 4 episodes are decent, like the decent episode, but for me, 5 to 9 were just outstanding.
Yes, like I got to episode 5, and I literally forgot to take notes.
Like 5 to 9 are just outstanding.
I was just hooked on episode 5. I was just forgot about notes. Like episode 1 to 4, I was like, okay,
they're good.
It's good, but it's not like attention grabbing good.
Like there's some moments where you look at it and go, that was pretty good. I can see I like that, I like this. But 5 onwards is when you're just like, yes.
That's where the shit hits.
Chef's kissed.
Yeah,
so good. But yeah, so let's have a look at one thing I want to point out. I noticed I only noticed it because it popped on the screen at the top. I never realised this season they upped the age rating to 12.
I mean, is that really a good thing?
The first 5 seasons are PGs. This season's, if you're on Netflix, this season is under obviously a 12 category.
Yeah.
Which,
okay.
To be fair, I can understand a little bit because there are some elements that are probably less child friendly.
Just to ask, is this a spoiler review? Or?
Yes, you can go into spoilers.
Cool.
We've only we're weird. We've done this is our 6th one now. Obviously, the 5 we've done before, like most of them were spoiler reviews. I think we only did 1 that wasn't. But most of them have been spoiler reviews. So let's just fucking go for it, son. Let's get all our thoughts and feelings out.
What weirdos go into a non-spoiler
review? But yeah, so I've got notes for pretty much every episode of what
Same.
kind of drew me. So let's start with episode 1.
Okay.
Let's go through each episode. Start with episode 1 and just give an overall.
Okay.
So obviously episode 1 continues from where we last left off.
Yeah, it starts off straight away with pretty much the ending of the season.
With obviously Claudia
Aravu's
bringing,
crying.
yeah, and obviously Claudia bringing her dad back to kind of sanity.
No, I mean like the start of this season.
Yes, yeah,
has the scenes from the end of this season.
yeah. I get what you're saying there. Yeah, but obviously also then it kicks off story wise, pretty much where we last left off with the villain group. And my note instantly says, I still hate Claudia after that one sequence. Yeah. First sequence, she's back, and I'm just like, fuck me, I still hate her.
Yeah, you sent me a message saying, I still fucking hate her.
Yeah, it's just that whininess of like, how she's like he's like realizing that the darkness has corrupted not only him, but his daughter. He's seen her face, how corrupted she is. Yeah. And he's realized the one option is go back, try and at least reason with the good guys and try and help the cause. And then she's just like whining like anything, like, oh, don't leave me, oh, I need you and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's like,
she was acting kind of like
a child.
At a point I felt bad for her, but at the same time she was acting like a spoiled child. Yes. And she needed a slap.
Yes, and I was just like, that's what in my notes I straight away wrote, I hate the fuck out of her. It's crazy still how, look at season 1, Soren was like, the hated one for both of us, and she was the good one for both of us. And as these seasons are gone, it's just swapped over. But yeah, so obviously I wrote that, and I did write she's just too whiny for me. Obviously, you can also, I also like how the show shows how Aravos's dark powers can easily influence and corrupt someone, i.e. the Callum scene with obviously the prison, when he obviously shows how easy it is that it draws him to it. I like that it shows how powerful his magic is to corrupt. It can corrupt anyone, even people that you don't think, you look at and go, oh, they'll be fine. I say Callum, yeah, he's dabbled with dark magic before, but he's still been fine. He's still dealt with it to a point. Not fine, but
with it like a few times, like 3 at most.
Yeah, and obviously, but it still shows you that he's still a bit able to just get through it. Like not like how obviously the villains have been, where they've gone to the dark magic and that's it. They kind of are corrupted fully. He's always been shown as someone who can kind of can brush it off a bit. Yeah. But this shows how he still is corruptible by this dark magic. And I like that from the first episode. It was a good way to start the series. You bring in these characters back, you show them what they've been up to, and you show them what you're going to probably be expecting going forward, because obviously this sets them off ready for the rest of the series, which is, as I say, it's the good first episode. It's not an amazing first episode, but it's a good start to the series, and I say it just keeps getting better from this point.
It's a good like reminder of what happened of the previous season.
Exactly, because obviously for some reason Netflix didn't do the recap they sometimes do. Like obviously a lot of TV shows, when it's like a second or third blah 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 season, Netflix always put like a what happened last season at the start, like a recap. But this didn't, and I was just jumped in. I was like, "Fuck, I can't remember too much about last season." I had to like Google the hell out of last season to remember what happened. I was like, "Oh yeah, pirates. That's what happened."
I mean, I can't remember anything from last season, so I can't really remember
the pirates, the water stuff.
Yeah, I get I pieced it all together watching the season.
Yeah, but I say from the get go, I was like, "Fuck, what happened?" But as I say, for the first episode, it was a good first off. And
also, did you notice in the actual like, I was gonna say like the theme song. It's not really a theme song.
The intro,
but like the intro.
It's Claudia now.
Yeah, it went from Viren to Claudia.
Yes.
Like in the very first episode, it's still Viren. But in the next one, it's Claudia.
It's because I think that's the idea of it. Doesn't want to spoil the idea that he's no longer the villain anymore.
Yeah.
Because realistically, that's what this season does. It shows him as not the villain anymore. It shows
him as a human.
Yeah, and it shows her as the one that's kind of a lot more villainous. But there's two sides. Psycho. Yeah, there's two sides to that as you go along in the show, which is interesting. But we'll get into that when we actually get to.
I mean, you could say there's two sides to every coin.
Yeah, basically.
So
But yeah, I
close.
did notice that. I was watching, I was like, wait, they swapped that. I swear that was the guy before.
See, I thought I could have swore there was a season where it was Callum
Yeah, I think it was one
instead.
episode. I think it was just one episode. I did see like someone like I was looking at the intros online, so I was trying to confirm myself of wait, have they changed the start? And I did see a Callum one, so I think it was like one episode. I think it might have been the episode when he was corrupted by dark magic.
Could be.
I think it was that episode.
Because I thought like after episode 2, I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna like
Different
swap
characters.
characters every single episode. No,
It just shows the one that the full focus of darkness is on.
yeah,
But yeah, so first episode, great.
you watched Stealing.
I was passing the watch to Hayden. Yes, you popped her for the
Yeah.
door, so I went, "Here's your watch, have it." So yeah, obviously then episode 2
boy.
obviously picks up with the plot we got in the last season with the mushroom guy.
Yeah,
When obviously he finds the mama dragon.
I completely forgot about him.
I remembered him. I was like, oh, mushroom guy. Yes, it's like one of the last shots was like him finding the dragon. So this one focuses on obviously him and showing what he's been up to with the mama dragon. And we get in this, we kind of get like a buddy cop adventure between
Soren and
I've written the names down.
Wrote his name.
Corvus.
That's it. Yeah.
So you get like a buddy cop, and then obviously on top of that, you also got Zim involved.
Yeah.
Just like this buddy cop, obviously adventure following mushrooms around, and you got one who's super serious, and then you got Soren who's just like an idiot the entire time, and the other guy's like, I know exactly what you're doing. Like when you keep singing songs, he's like, I did the same thing. I've gone to the same place as you. And he's like, really? So it's a fun episode. It's definitely a lot more comedy than the first one.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I think the show balances that well enough to warrant an episode that has a lot more comedy elements.
I honestly thought that they were going to, like, hook up at the end of the season.
Well, ship them two as a unit.
Yeah. I mean, come on, like they've got gays everywhere.
I know. Obviously, thing is, actually, I think I'll save that for later when we get to the one episode. I'll know which one it is. I'll explain it in a bit. It makes sense when we get to that episode talking about it.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense just doing it now, but it's something that basically fucked my mind up when watching it. I was really confused, and I was like, "Oh, my mind went to the wrong place in that situation." But yeah, so obviously we get that. Obviously, plot line. We get the Sunfire Elf, the aftermath of the Sunfire Elf's brother's betrayal. So obviously we focus on her dealing with the aftermath of his actions. She was getting very angry.
She was being a real bitch.
Which, I mean, can you blame her? Like, a brother, like, fucking betrayed her and, like, set people against her.
No, I understand it, but, like, still, like, what a bitch.
Yeah, so this episode's, obviously, there's a lot of humour, but there's a lot of emotion to it as well.
Yeah, you find that with the season with the Sunfire Elves.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
that one shot of when she's, like, burning the tree. And they're trying to pull it, it's just they're jumping on it, trying to pull it out. Well, obviously, they're trying to stop her from doing it. It's just that's like such an emotional sequence, and there's a lot more as the show goes along, emotional moments. And as I say, I'm all for that. I'm all for a show that has a lot of comedy, but I'm all for like, especially after watching Gravity Falls, when we went through those 2 seasons. Yeah, there was a lot of comedy, but there was a lot of really serious emotional moments.
Definitely.
And when a show balances them perfectly, and I think this episode is a good case of balancing it right. You get it perfect, and so it's a fun episode. The mushroom thing's good. I mean, that whole mushroom hat stopping the big ass mushroom from decking people is funny.
There's too many mushroom puns.
And then the fact that the episode ends is like, hey, where's Soren? And he's sitting on top of obviously Hat. And he's like, hey, look, I'm Hat. And he's just shrunk down. I just cracked up. I was like, for fuck's sake. I was like, wait, did I miss something? Did I miss them turning small? So I had to rewind to make sure. And I was like, no, it's just a random joke.
Yeah.
But it's a funny way to end an episode. Because I do like the fact that they've all got their own baitling. That the baitling's split up. So the chef's got one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Zoran's got one. He's got the hat one. And obviously, Callum's got Sneezy. Which is the one which is the one that chef's got? I don't remember his name. I can't remember his name. I know they're literally like the first like moment. They're like, it's like, oh, baited babies. Oh no, they're like rescue baitlings, and he explains all the names in, but I can't fucking remember the one's name. But then again, I think it's probably because they don't focus on they don't focus on him that much. but they focus on the other two a lot more, and they mention their names constantly. But yeah, as I say, episode 2, improvement over the first one, funny, emotional. It's as I say, it's getting good.
Yeah, I wrote down as well, like, about apparently there's a Mary Poppins reference with the mushroom guy. So I put
Yeah,
down
when he's coming down
Mary
on the
Poppin. It's Mary Poppins, y'all.
and then obviously episode 3 goes for the more romance.
Yeah,
Because obviously you got the Callum and Rayla romance starting to blossom a lot more.
again.
And you also got, I believe I've wrote it down, Terry and Claudia starting to have a romance a bit more, because obviously last time they argued and she ran off because she's like, oh, people keep leaving me, so I'm going to beat you to it. I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
But then she came
And
back and it was this really emotional moments. And there's a lot more, there's basically 2 romance angles in one episode that have,
this episode, there was no speaking in any of the Claudia
yeah, it
and
was all
Terry part.
silence, which was interesting.
Yeah, but it just shows like how much emotion you can get over with just animation alone.
Yeah.
And not have like speaking. I mean, yeah, R.I.P. the voice actors not getting paid for that episode, but you know.
But yeah, it's a very emotional, romantic episode, and as I say, it's different. It's not something we've had yet. We haven't really had an episode that's just all romance from start to finish, especially from like 2 different perspectives. Like you're seeing 2 people that have had a kind of possible connection for a long time, and you got these 2 characters that they started this connection not too long ago in terms of season wise. So you're seeing how their romances are kind of heavily different. You got one that basically kind of broke up and then forced back together because obviously there's nowhere to go. And you got one there that on an adventure, and on this adventure the romance is starting to rekindle. They're starting to see the fact that maybe we are meant to be together in this situation, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It also helped with the what was it, the monkey lemur and Sneasel fucking setting them up.
Yes, the fucking. Oh, that cracked me up. That did the fact that it was just like really sneaky. He's like,
and then fucking Sneasel just sneezes
sneezing
on
in
Rayla's
people's
face
faces to make
to
them
make a
cuddle.
roll over. Yeah,
I say they're just being very chaotic. Like they're literally like they're looking at each other, thinking like this should happen. Fuck it, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And as I say, that's the funny parts of the episode is them 2 basically trying to parent trap the situation in the sense of like forcing these 2 together because they know they should be together. So that's basically what it reminds me of, like the parent trap. And then obviously
the little creatures matchmaking.
Yeah,
one of
basically,
my notes.
They're basically matchmaking, and it's fine because it's humorous. Because it's not like fucking a 5th or 6th episode of Mabel trying to romance people in Gravity Falls. It's just like two creatures that are just like, bro, come on, bro. And so it's more romance, and obviously you got you got that obviously kind of action sequence at the end with the whole fire and all that, and then we leave on Viren finally getting back to the kingdom, and that's where we get a cliffhanger ending, and this is where we start getting like really big cliffhanger endings. Like every episode pretty much has a big moment to end on to make you want to come back for the next episode.
What was that? Ezrin said a really fucking great one-liner.
Is it the thing where it's like, are you looking for like
are you looking
forgiveness?
For and Viren's like no, and he's like good because you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, that line was like, I was like, fucking King Ezrin, come on. I was like, yes, son. Tell him what it fucking is, because realistically, it shouldn't be something that's forgiven like that. It should be something that's earned. Like he shouldn't just walk back and expect forgiveness, which I respect the fact that he doesn't expect that. He goes there not seeking forgiveness. I think he's just trying to at least connect with his son some more and connect with the fact that obviously his daughter is corrupted. He knows that he's corrupted everything, and he needs to set things right, even if it means being locked away, which is something that we get obviously
for the remainder of the episodes, really, until 1.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's the next. Isn't it the episode after? Like, I don't think it's really the next episode. I think it's the episode after. My notes for the next one mainly focus on Claudia being a complicated character in episode 4, because obviously she's conflicted over good and evil again.
Yeah.
And obviously, at this
Mhm.
point in my notes, because obviously not watching the rest of the episodes, I was like, is this us seeing her maybe going on that journey to become the good character like Soren? Obviously,
Mm.
we don't get that. Obviously, spoiler alert. Um,
Yeah.
but
Spoilers.
at the point in
Spoiler
the
episode.
series, it kind of looked like that. It kind of looked like she
Yeah.
was going to have the Soren turn to good, but as I say, we didn't get to that. But we did get a new set of characters. Obviously, the very angelic characters. I like to refer to them as the ones with the blindfolds.
Yes.
I just kind of refer to them as angels. That's what they kind of are. Because I keep referring to like heavens and stuff like that. They're basically just angels.
Mm.
Um, and obviously, it's cool that we get a new set of characters to look at and go, okay,
Yeah.
like when we got the Sunfire Elves the first time, we really invested, like, okay, it's a new set of characters, a new species to this
Yeah.
world that we haven't seen, and that's the same with this again. Obviously, these are obviously beings that are blindfolded, can fly around with wings, and it's like really cool to see that. So yeah, at this point in obviously the episode, I was like, I'm really interested to learn some more about them going forward, and that's something we did get over the next couple of next episode or so. Is we got a bit more information about them, but at this point, it was still kind of vague about what they
Mm.
were exactly. Um, but yeah, and on top of that, we also got the evil sibling stuff to the Sunfire Alpha game. We got
Yeah.
his side of it now because we had her in episode 2, and now we've got his side
I
of what
mean,
his goal is.
we got a bit of both really in episode 2 because they ended up doing a dual speech as well. It's like you had them like finishing off each other's sentences, but in their own own faction of, you know. But yeah.
But this one
But,
obviously shifts focus fully onto him and his idea of basically using this dragon as a weapon,
mm,
which is straight away that's interesting as fuck. Dragon
yeah.
as a weapon, man, that's gonna be fucking cool when it happens.
Also,
Um,
there was a really good question in this episode as well. Why do we wear underwear?
who says I'm wearing any underwear?
But
Blew
that was
your,
a really good question from
I
Callum.
blew your mind then, didn't I?
Like the two star or the star? No.
The
Yeah,
angel
they are. Yeah,
people.
they are. Yeah, the star fair elves. Um, the two that we get to introduce us to them, they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they are quite funny, Bond. They're like, that was a joke. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of bickering between them, and obviously that's humorous, like
Mm.
conversations. And these are the two that I had a very confusing moment with in. I think it's the next episode. Is it the next one? Hold on. Yes, I think. Actually, well, it might be
Next.
episode. Which is the one when they basically? Which episode is it? Because I haven't written the note down. When they finally take the blindfolds off.
Hold on.
5 or 6.
I think it's 6
Okay.
because
It's when he obviously has to fly up, doesn't he, to try and figure out
yeah,
obviously his
yeah,
darkness.
it's episode 6 because I wrote down Callum becoming Spider-Man slash Spider Weaver.
Webweaver.
Whatever. Whatever.
So those are the two characters I got kind of confused with the unblindfolding scene because
Mm.
I kind of thought they were lovers, and next minute they were like brother and sister. I was like,
No,
oh,
it said before that they were brother and sister.
I never caught that. I didn't catch that like that line
We're
beforehand.
just on the fucking horny train. Where's the
I
fucking
honestly didn't catch
breakdown?
that. I don't know why I didn't catch it. I don't know if it was obviously maybe I went out the room to get something. I don't know, but I didn't catch that line of dialogue saying they're brother and sister. And when it obviously they took the blindfold, I was like, "You're beautiful." I was like, "They're gonna kiss," and it was like brothers. So obviously they made the comment of brother and sister. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I misjudged this situation.
What the fuck are we in Alabama?
I misjudged it. I must have missed that first like dialogue line of brother and sister, and I just assumed they were just like two random characters. And obviously, then that line
Mm.
of dialogue saying they're beautiful, and I was like, oh, okay, they're maybe lovers. And then I said then the plot twist of for me a plot twist of brother and sister. I was like, oh fuck. But yeah,
Also, them spiders can fuck off.
Oh, the joke of how can you? What do you think of spiders?
Yeah,
I was like,
like I was like, nope, nope, I'm
um,
not doing that.
but yeah, so episode 4 was another good
Yeah,
episode. So this is the last
like
point where they're decent. This is when they start getting
mm,
great. Um,
yeah, it's like you get Claudia like messing around a bit more,
mm,
like just being like the OG classic Claudia, like being a goofball again.
yeah,
And I was like, ah, I literally read that and I said, I hope Claudia becomes fucking pure again.
I'd say at this point, it's
The
definitely starting
Sky
to look
Elves,
like what did you say? Sorry,
the Sky
Sky
Elves.
Elves. I say at this point, it's looking like it. It's looking like she might be having this good turn.
Mm,
Um, and as then we're going to episode 5, which obviously gives us the Soren and Viren dialogue, which is so fucking
yeah,
good. Like
I
it's
didn't really write down much for this episode because like this was the episode where I forgot to take notes.
so what I wrote then. Obviously, I like obviously Viren finally admitting to his mistakes to Soren, but I like
Yeah,
the fact that it shows where Soren is at now. That he doesn't trust his dad at all. No matter what he
yeah,
says, he sees it as a lie. And there's this really good like dialogue sequence between the two of them that is so good. That obviously leads to Viren
mm,
the next episode having to write down what has happened in the past to Soren to explain to him. And
yeah.
I love this like back and forth between them. It's so fucking good, and it's
This was
much
the episode where they took the blindfolds off
yeah.
because this is the episode where the elf becomes time blind,
So
which
yeah, so then it kicks off to the next one with them having to fly up and do the
yeah,
dark. Yeah, okay,
because with this one like it was interesting because it just went like black and like grayscale, wasn't it, for like the Callum and
yeah,
Rayla part of the episode,
yes.
and I was really confused. So I was like, why is it just black like grayscale on it?
The behemoth stuff
But
was so good though. The
but it
design of the
made sense.
behemoth was really good.
That's the next episode, isn't it?
We're on episode 5.
Oh no, 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 that is this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the design of behemoth is so good. I like the fact as well with this we get to see Rayla.
not just going hack and
Yeah,
slash.
she's showing the caring side to her, and obviously I like with that as well. You get to see Callum's trust for her, and when she trusts her
Mm,
to say, "Okay, try what you need to try here." And obviously she has that
yeah,
nice moment with the behemoth, which calms him down, and then you get a bit of backstory to understand what this behemoth actually is. Like
mm,
it's not just a raging monster wanting to destroy everything; it's a
yeah,
lost pet, and
yeah.
that's like really
Poor
beautiful.
dragon friend.
And so it's really beautiful. Like it's a whole sequence. I
Mm,
say you got this very brief action sequence. You're like, okay, so yeah, it's gonna be like a massive action, and it calms down. It goes more emotional. I'm just like,
yeah,
okay, this series is definitely balancing its dark and its love really well, and it's obviously
mm,
emotional and its humorous moments so good. And I say this is the point where the series fucking like episodes are like top tier
yeah.
for me.
I
Um,
literally put like honestly, this is so far this is the best episode of the season.
Yeah, at this point, this was the best one. And so you got the whole Soren and Viren part of the story, which is so good, and you got the
Mm,
whole Callum and Rayla with the Ice Behemoth, which is really good. And obviously, then you say you get the time blind
yeah,
sequence, which is say obviously he shows
the
obviously
time. I think the time blindness actually kicks off next episode because that's when we get like Veer and like writing the stuff down because I remember writing like um yeah, that's the episode where it's episode 6 where that kicks off with Callum going up. It's I think at the very end of this episode is where the elf becomes time blind and then
and he sees Callum's darkness,
yeah,
isn't it? And that's where it pretty much ends. If I remember correctly,
mm,
I'm pretty certain the last shot is obviously his eyes going black, and he's like,
yeah,
"What? Tell me," and it just pretty much like it's that's it. The episode, and I say
yeah,
it's the best episode up to this point, and I said that rolls into the next episode where you get to see the backstory, which is really good because
yeah,
like half it's drawn and half it's actual
mm,
proper animation. I like that. It's really cool to see why Viren went to darkness, why he snapped into it.
mm.
Because obviously we get to see it from the point of view of Soren being ill. He did it to fix him.
Yeah, because we had that like premonition like kind of earlier on in in another season. Like the reason why he was using
Yeah,
dark
was because it
magic. I
was
think it was
him.
last season, wasn't it?
I can't remember off the top of my head. There might have been reference to it like ages ago, because obviously I know.
Mm,
I think there might have been a reference slightly to it with one of the early seasons. Might have been season 1
yeah,
with because obviously Claudia used dark magic on him to say obviously because he was not well again.
yeah.
So
See, this was the season. This was the episode where I sent you 2 of my notes. My singular line of notes. uh, um, if you remember them.
your 2 lines of notes you sent me were.
I wouldn't read all of them out.
Which one? Hold on. I also had the picture of you going, "Is that me?"
Yeah, that's on
Yes, I will not
episode
read
8.
that one out because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And then something about wants to fix himself.
Yeah, wait, Callum is depressed now, wow, and doesn't want to get rid of it, of the darkness. Oh, and then, like, a bit later on, because that's when we find out, like, it was kind of like, you know, not much of an issue, and then he's like, oh, he wants to fix himself. And then I was like, oh, if only someone else wanted to fix themselves too.
And so the whole like backstory sequence for obviously Viren is really well done.
Yeah.
It's a draw, and obviously on top of that, when he obviously gives up wanting to give it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not giving it to him." It's like whoa, that's kind of like hits the
Mm.
heart. And so then you got the Callum stuff of him obviously trying to touch the basically go up to the
Like,
sky.
yeah, and then he wants to, like, touch the star to get rid
Yeah.
of the darkness.
And obviously it's this outlines Rayla, isn't it?
Mm.
And he obviously gets. I mean, seeing Callum with the wings is always a fucking bonus. They're pretty cool.
I don't know, I don't like him.
I like them. They remind me of
I think it's a cool thing. Like he's got them inscribed on his arm, but other than that, I don't like them. I don't. It's just something about them.
I don't know. I find them quite cool. I say we got them like a couple of seasons ago,
Mm.
and as I think they're an interesting design. It's obviously because they could have put it on his back, but it's interesting. That it's
Yeah.
like it's his arms that just become wings. That's kind of interesting. I say obviously that whole episode is just really well done. And I say you've got these 2 battles with darknesses going on,
Yeah.
one in the past and one in the present.
Yeah.
And I like how there's a lot of mirror images in this show so far in this season, where you got 2 stories going on, and they're basically the exact same story, but
Yeah.
from different perspectives. And I do really like that. And say at this point, the episodes are just getting better and better and better.
Yeah. One of the notes I did write down as well was you saved the boy to lose your wife, and then blame the boy you saved.
Yeah,
Because that's pretty much
that was quite
doing.
heavy hitting. That was.
Yeah.
He broke his
Like,
family to save his life, and then blamed him for breaking the family. It's like
For the rest of his life, yeah.
whoa! What the fuck? Father of the year or what?
oh no, Daddy Viren.
But yeah, I'd say solid episode, and obviously episode 7 then just like went even better.
Yeah, I did write down get a room, you two.
FYI, when I saw obviously because I didn't watch episode 7 until this morning, when I saw
Mm.
the title of episode 7, I was like, that title is going to give Game of Thrones fans some PTSD. Because the episode title is The Red Wedding, which is like one of the bleakest Game of Thrones episodes. Where
I've
like
never watched Game of Thrones, so
basically,
I wouldn't
for
tell it.
context for you, Alex, and if anyone hasn't watched it, basically they're trying to get like an alliance with basically like another basically army
Mm.
to go and attack the enemies, and they got it's like a whole wedding. That's how the alliance is happening, and during the wedding, the basically the main protagonists that you've been following for a while just get massacred. Every single one of them.
Oh,
They kill them all off like that. Like the big stars, they just execute them all. And it's like one of the most iconic Game of Thrones episodes of its time because it's just like out of nowhere. Because you're thinking, oh yeah, it's all good. They're all gonna make an alliance, and then out of nowhere, everyone just dies. And you're like, what the fuck? It's like the biggest betrayal ever.
mm.
And as soon as I saw the title, obviously it's The Red Wedding, I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen in this episode?
Ezra's gonna die.
Someone's gonna fucking go down in this episode, and obviously it does and
but
it
in the way
doesn't.
that you don't expect
Yeah.
it.
So obviously the wedding stuff is really beautiful. It's really emotional. I say
Hmm.
a lot of animated shows. Yeah, I know it's a 12 now, but obviously it's still overall it's still been a kids show.
Yeah.
Obviously we've been having this gay romance for a while, which obviously
Yes. The
we spoke about
gays
with
win in Pride Month.
with Gravity Falls obviously being a very one that was a rare one of its time, having this sort of
Yeah.
gay romance that appear at one in the last sequences. And obviously, this has been having this romance for a while between the best character of the show, the aunt,
Yeah.
and obviously the Sunfire Elf
Yeah.
queen.
I mean, the commander, the A, what is it that they use? That they use ASL, isn't it? I don't think it's BSL. But the sign language anyway. The interpreter,
Yeah,
the commander,
the one who starts crying instantly.
fucking.
He's such a good character. I mean, remember
Oh,
when he's locked in the cell and he spends the entire
yeah.
time just like bickering and moaning.
Mm.
I mean, he's definitely also one of the best characters. It's the partnership between the two is hilarious.
Yeah.
Wait, how is this going to work then? Obviously, does he have to be in this? Because he has to be in the same room as her to tell, obviously, to sign for her. So if they're in bed together, does he have to sit in the corner of the room? It's like she says, stick it in there.
I mean, he might be a voyeur.
Yeah, he's just hiding in the cupboard watching.
But to be honest, I think the queen, well, I mean, they're both queens now, aren't they? Really, but I think she can kind of understand some.
To an extent, yeah. The sign's more for the audience and for
Yeah.
the people watching in the obviously the
Mm.
crowd. And say it's a nice wedding. I say then you got the brother with the dragon because obviously he's healed the
Yeah.
dragon's wings, not his eyes, and he's using that as a weapon. So he comes with his army. Obviously Ezra's
Yeah.
like, no, we're not gonna go to war. I'll speak. We'll try and sort this out. Obviously goes there and tries to sort it all out. Gets fucked over because he realizes what's gonna go down, and when the big battle after this beautiful wedding's gone down, it's a really emotional, beautiful wedding. After that's gone down, which shows the unity between two characters that hated each other's guts. They went from enemies to lovers, basically. And to see that is beautiful. And obviously, then you've got this massive battle that's about to kick off. You're like, oh shit, because you know this dragon's gonna fuck everything up. You're like, shit.
Yeah.
This is the red wedding part that everyone's gonna get massacred. Here we go. Where's the dragon? And all I wrote down in my notes at this point was to the Sunfire Elf brother, get fucked. That's all I wrote in my notes was get fucked. Because obviously they fucking blow the horn. Obviously they're like, here he comes. Where is he?
I wrote down, here comes the sun, do 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 do.
And obviously they just get fucking wiped out.
I was like, what the fuck?
They just get wiped out. And obviously we get that really cool ending of where the dragon actually is. He's going to the kingdom. He's gonna wipe them out.
I literally wrote down the fucking pearl.
And as I say, the fucking the endings now are such good cliffhangers, and this one setting up what for me is my favorite episode, because the next one for me is my favorite episode 8, which obviously
the one with me in it,
which kicks off with this dragon just destroying everything, wreaking havoc, burning everything. People are getting like injured, running away, trying to run away. They're firing at this dragon. Nothing's obviously, it's not really being affected too much by it. It's still happening, and we get this really emotional turn between Soren and Viren, where obviously he's like, "You need to do your magic again. You need to use dark magic." He knows not to, and it's this really emotional moment between them. And he's like, "The only way I can do it is with a human heart." And Soren,
and he's like,
going from the point of bully to hero that will literally sacrifice his life, is such great character development. His character's been so well written. Yes, he has these goofy ass moments, but when it comes to it, he's such a well written character. I love him to bits.
If he actually did,
I thought he was gonna.
Soren's heart, I would have fucking cried.
I thought he was gonna. Honestly,
fucking cried.
I was expecting it, and then when he came out, and I was like, "There's no heart," and then I see Soren run out. I was like, "Wait, what's gonna happen?" Wait, no, and then obviously he sacrificed himself to save his son and save everyone. And that whole moment was so well animated, and it was so emotional. Obviously, to see him just like realize he saved his son, that's all that he wanted to do, and he dies. And that was such good storytelling.
It was poetic.
It was bringing a tear to my eye. I was like, that is so good. Obviously,
fucking cry baby.
I'm sorry, Gravity Falls final episode, cry baby. I mean, it didn't bring a tear to my eye. It brought a theoretical tear to my eye.
Yeah,
like it was emotional. Obviously, if I would have cried, it was that moment I would have cried at, but obviously I didn't. But it was one of those
Yeah,
moments that could.
I literally wrote down, "Don't you fucking dare do it! I will cry."
But yeah, I say so. The whole battle was really well done, and the
Yeah.
ending of the battle is emotionally done
Mm.
correctly. And I say at this point, it's my favorite episode, and I think overall it's probably my favorite episode. And on top of that, we get the coin plot line finally coming to an end.
Yeah.
And we're at the point of now there's going to be a massive sacrifice for Rayla to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. Just wow. And on top of that, we've got the dragon being revealed. Obviously, the ride of the dragon being revealed to actually be the Star-Touched elf.
Yeah. Like, well, you saw that because of in the previous episode at the
you
end
saw
because of the corruption.
Lines, but obviously, you see the full turn of it, obviously who it actually is, and the fact that he manipulated dragon into attacking the kingdom. Because obviously, I think he did that because he knew obviously Viren was there, and he knew killing Viren.
No, I think it's because of the pearl.
Yeah, obviously the pearl, but also because he knew getting Viren as well could also be the case of not just the pearl, but it could be a way of corrupting Claudia even more.
True.
2 for 1, basically, a 2 for 1 situation.
Because Claudia literally got there at the wrong time at the very end of the episode as well.
Exactly, and it works.
To just find her dead.
Exactly, and it works. Again, she went fucking full whiny at that point. I was like, okay, you've lost me here again.
I mean, it's understandable. Her fucking dad's just died in front of her.
It's just the case of the bit where obviously Terry's like, no, don't look, and she straight away is like, no, I need to, I need it, and I was like, wow, needy much.
Oh wow, you're fucking horrible, Tom.
Yeah, her dad died, but I mean, she's like a dark villain.
Go on. Yeah, and she's a fucking child, teenager, young adult.
I'd say young adult by now. I think she's probably maybe a teens-ish early on, but obviously they've got older now. But still, I her whole character just, I don't know. She's too much sometimes. Yeah, I know her dad's just died, but the fact that she instantly is like is like, are you still gonna help me? Yeah, I'll help you. It's like, whoa. Your dad clearly went off to do some good, and now you're still gonna help this bad guy. Nah.
Yeah, I'm out. That part,
I'm out. I'm out of you. Yeah, I'm not interested in your character anymore. Bugger off.
Yeah.
But I'm still expecting probably some sort of good turn at some point. Maybe like a noble sacrifice or something.
Yeah. I was quite confused though because
I reckon I know how it's going to happen. Wouldn't surprise me if they don't kill Terry off, and that sets her off into that stage. You know what I mean? Because he's been her emotional crutch.
Yeah.
So maybe if they get rid of, if he goes, that's when she fully has enough of this guy. Maybe it's something to do with the villain. That's why Terry's gone. So she finally snaps and is like, yeah, fuck you. I'm going out with a bang here.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's just my prediction.
Who knows?
But yeah, so there's everything in this episode sets up the finale perfectly. And so we went into episode 9, and it's given us the Aravos' his backstory, which
and the decision of Rayla.
Yes. Thing is though, question is Aravos' backstory actually legit, or is he doing it on purpose?
I wrote that as well. I was like, is Aravos lying?
Because the whole father-daughter story, that made me think maybe he's doing that just to easily manipulate Claudia even more, because he sees that she just lost her dad. She's emotional regarding a father-daughter dynamic. What if he's bullshitting? I mean, hopefully it's not, because then it just take away from that scene, like that emotional scene. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of hope it is, because that just shows how much of a prick he is, how much of a villain he actually is. And so I'm guessing that's something, if it is bullshit, it'll be revealed in the next season. But yeah, as I say, I was watching, I was like, is this legit? I don't have to take this seriously or not. It's emotional, but I don't have to take this backstory serious. Because Viren's we could, because we knew about
the Soren part.
Exactly, we already knew about that. And the fact that he knows his time is pretty much up, that he's trying to tell the truth. So we know that was legit. But is this one? Is this legit? We know he's a villain. Can we trust this guy?
Yeah.
So it's also, interesting there.
Sorry, did you also notice about the cube? the cube that like tells you what kind of magic is there is a key for a book.
Mm.
The cube that we've had since like season 1 that Callum used
Yes.
to like highlight the magic and that. It's a key for a book that Aravos has.
I know it's an interesting plot twist, isn't it?
Mm. And then you've got to think like, how did Callum get the cube?
Yeah. And then obviously on top of all this storyline with obviously Aravos, you've also got the final wrap up for the Rayla stuff with
Yeah,
her finally letting her family go and also bringing her family back at the same time.
yeah,
Um,
because
her adoptive
yeah,
dad.
the adopted gaze.
Obviously, we
I,
finally
I
get that
hope,
wrap up, and obviously the whole episode is just full of emotion. It's not
yeah,
action packed like say the season 3 finale was, but this is
but you
what you have
get
to
a tiny
think
bit of
of.
emotion,
Yeah,
of
it's
action. Sorry.
what you have to think of with this is not the end still. It's
Mm,
literally the setup for the big final part of the saga. Because
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
they announced
Did
obviously Series 7 being the last part of the mystery of Aravos story.
yeah,
So we know this isn't the end, which I'm guessing then next season will probably have the big action packed ending, which would make
mm,
sense. Um, but,
yeah.
y- but yeah. And so overall, it's a great series. It's a
Oh,
definitely
definitely.
each episode just improves as it goes along. As I for me, episode 8 is my favorite. I think you said
Mm.
episode 5 was your favorite, wasn't it?
Yeah, at the time,
What's your favorite now, though?
don't know. um, let's have a look.
Tricky, isn't it?
Yeah,
See, I set my bar instantly when I saw episode 8, and obviously then episode 9 was good, but I was like, I still prefer episode 8.
I
Whereas
think episode 6.
6. And so you set your bar at the point of episode 5, so you got like multiple episodes still to consider afterwards.
Yeah,
I only had one episode to consider afterwards if it's better or not. Episode
because
6.
there was a thing with episode 9. Like it was good. Like you get the return of the moon elf, with her sexy bear
He's doing the
partner.
massaging.
Yeah,
Crack an egg.
Spider.
Oh, that whole sequence. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I get it, but um, but yeah. Why have I've literally wrote down she chose the gay.
Yeah, I just think overall it's definitely another solid season, better than the
Oh,
last series,
definitely.
and it definitely continues this trend of we've had so far of one season being good, next season being a bit not as good, but next season after going back up, staying up, going down, going back up. It's definitely kept that weird trend that we've had, and obviously one thing obviously what I will say before we get to the actual wrapping up
Mm.
stuff, obviously as I said the next series 7 at Comic-Con, its subtitle is Dark. It's book 7 Dark.
I guess so, because we've got like all the other kind of
And I say
magic, haven't
it
we?
closes out the mystery of Aravos storyline.
Yeah.
And here's what the creator said about that: the story, if popular enough, isn't over yet.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, there is one more saga that they would like to tell, which what they said would bring the show to 10 seasons, and that's where it would end.
Mm.
It would end on season 10. So I'm interested to
Interesting.
see what that next saga would be, since obviously the big stuff is going to be wrapped up. So I'm interested to see where it goes. But as he said, it's more to do with viewership. If the viewership's good on Netflix, they will get the next seasons. And I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping at the same time they wrap up the story, but leave it slightly open. Not like a massive
Yeah.
opening for, like, if it cancels, that's it. You're not going to see where, you know what I mean? You don't want to show it to get set up something massive and then cancelled. You want it to, like, maybe subtly set up, like, well, the story might not be just over yet, and then
Yeah.
obviously if it gets cancelled, you're okay because you're like, yes, it's over, but we've still had this satisfying ending.
See, I've still got a theory of season 1. My theory still hasn't been proven wrong, and it hasn't been proven right.
Which is
Is the fact that the king is turned into a bird.
Maybe that's something that might be addressed in the next season.
Yeah, because if you remember, like there was this is going to rack your brain because it's just all come back to me. If you remember, Viren had a two-headed snake that if it bit like two different things, the souls would swap. And I think because the snake was dead when the elves attacked, I think that he used it on the king and the bird and swapped the souls of the king and the birds flew off.
So maybe that's something we'll see soon enough. If that
Yeah,
is the case, who
sorry.
knows?
Just one of them things that's just been racking my brain still.
But yeah, so obviously the next series is the last part of the Mystery of Aravo stuff, which I'm guessing will probably next year.
Yeah.
And then I say if we're hopeful enough, and if it does well enough, we will get 3 final seasons to wrap out a decent
I hope we
story.
do.
Which would be pretty cool.
Has the sun just gone in by you or something?
Yes, it just went in. I've gone really dark. I'll correct myself. Hold on.
Here comes
There
the
we go.
dark.
Bit lighter, not too much lighter. But yeah, so overall, great series. Much better than the last. And obviously,
Yeah.
what I want to say, obviously here, obviously I noted it when I was working out my scoring. Obviously, this is how to put into context what I mean by it's better than the last. So the last series, which obviously came out last year, obviously was one of 50 TV shows I checked out last year over the course of obviously the year. And out of 50, it was 37.
Yeah.
So it's ranked quite low out of 50. Whereas this season so far, yes, I've only seen 22 shows. But it's ranked currently at number 8.
I was gonna say it's gonna be.
It's in my top 10 at the moment, and but we're halfway through a year, so that's a good part to be stuck at halfway through a year, and that kind of just show where I'm going with my rating.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going out of 5 for this because obviously we've been doing that for all these seasons so far.
Yep. Very limiting.
We are not limiting, but you know,
It is.
I mean,
It's literally just like 1 to 10.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's limiting because obviously, realistically, if you convert them into out of 10, technically
Yeah,
speaking,
that's what I mean.
you can think of it that way. So obviously, I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5, which converted out of 10 would be like the 9 region.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking the same because, like, to me, I would want to give this a 4.9 out of 5, but I'm like, I can't push it into the 5 because, like, it's not amazing, you know. Like we had like the slow
The
burning.
first part was the slow part, which drags it back for you.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I'm the same 4.5 out of 5 because, like, as I said, like I would push it to the 5.
So
But
what
if
you're
it
saying
wasn't,
is you're putting 4.5, but it's a high 4.5.
yeah, pretty much. It's like I said, it's like a 4.9.
Yeah, but you just don't want to round it up fully to the 5. Which
Yeah,
makes sense. That's basically the same as me. I agree. It's a higher 4.5. I just don't want to round it to the 5. And that then makes the weird coincidence of we've rated every single season the exact same. We both gave season 1 4.5, 2 a 4, 3 a 4.5, 4 4.5, 5 a 4, and now 6 a 4.5. We've so far given the exact same ratings and they've had the exact same mindset throughout this run. That's crazy.
I hate that.
Crazy. I didn't realise that until I was flicking back through trying to get the score so we could at least have something to go off, and I was like, fuck me, we've like gone the same so far.
I hate it.
But yeah. If you've seen Dragon Prince Season 6, what did you think of it? Put your thoughts in the comments below. What are you looking forward to seeing in Series 7? And are you hoping that they do continue the adventure after that with that final 3-season run? Obviously, you can check out other content. Obviously, we've done all the other Dragon Prince, so you can check all them out. We've got Season 1 to 5 you can check out. We've just finished Gravity Falls by the time this episode goes out, so you've got 2 seasons of Gravity Falls you can check out. If you don't want to check out Dragon Prince, which would be weird because you're already here for Series 6. Strange.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got other many reviews. Got a lot of movie reviews we've done together.
Pokemon.
Exactly. Pokemon DC, the list does go on a little
Oh,
bit.
imagine
Uh,
DC movies.
we also have obviously video games that we've done: Raft, It Takes Two, A Way Out, Rocket League. We're getting into video games again by the end of this month.
Yep.
We're still debating what exactly we're going to be playing. I've got a list. Hopefully, you got your list by now. Looks like not, but we'll figure it out before then. And yeah, obviously, I hope you enjoyed this extended episode because we've spoken a lot about this one more than we have in our previous ones.
Mhm.
I think that's
I think
because
that's because we've actually set it out as like we talk about
episode,
every
yeah,
episode.
which makes
But
sense.
that's only because we've actually both done notes this time.
Not just gone okay overall this season because of this and that. I feel
Yeah,
like this is probably the way of going forward with like this type of thing. Like,
yeah,
I think you could accept like a longer episode because of the fact that
yeah.
you, essentially you can accept the longer episode due to let's say going through episode by episode, and
Mhm.
so even when you mount up the episodes, we're still shorter than the actual overall run of the season. So
Yeah.
I might even split this into two. You might get this across 2 parts instead.
Nah.
Just one big one, Alex. Go one big one.
Yeah, just one big one. One get
Right.
out.
Wang it out. I'll wang it out then. So, but yes, obviously, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. So we're going to take a break from reviews for a while now to just go into gaming a bit more. And somewhere down the line, we might come back for some more reviews, but we shall see. And that is it then. So obviously, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
See ya.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.